So welcome back to veetaveetv. So if you ever wanted to own your own home daycare, this is the video for you. This video is loaded with gems, loaded with information that's going to help you get started from A to Z in owning your own home daycare. So let's get into it.
So to start my daycare, I also was a teacher before. I used to teach kindergarten for about 5 years before I opened my home daycare, but the process is a little bit tedious depending on what state you're in. I would recommend looking up like your state and then in-home daycare requirements, depending if you want a small license or a large license. When I first started, I did a small license, and then I eventually switched to a large license, but I wanted to get it started pretty quickly after I quit my teaching job. So I started with the small license, and then once I had like kids and I was like pretty comfortable with like the daycare setting, I reapplied for the large license. The big difference between a small license and a large license is that you need the fire department to come and inspect for the large license, but it's kind of weird because like they don't really communicate with the licensing office for like daycare, so you have to like go out of your way and like reach out to them, and they like schedule things, but they're like very picky about what they look for. So they'll check like, your fire alarm. For my daycare, they like check the leaves and made sure like everything wasn't like super sharp for the kids, so they're like very specific. But I would say the whole licensing process does take quite a while, like around a month for me when I first got licensed. But you don't really need any like credentialing or anything like when you were a teacher, but you do need to take certain like CPR classes. You have to do like a mandated reporter training. You have to do like a nutrition and food training. So there's a couple different training requirements. Each state is different, I think, but that's just for the state that I was in. And then after that, I kind of just started marketing my business as I was getting everything set up. And then I did interviews. And then I got really lucky because I quit my teaching job after the end of the school year. And so I had about 3 months in the summer to set up, like full on just setting up my daycare. And when I first started interviewing families, I got really lucky and I got like 5 families right off the bat, and they all started like within that same week of each other. So I had like a pretty full group when I first started, and then now I'm up to like 10 kids. So it does take a little while to start up, but once you start, it's like super fun. I loved teaching, but I feel like daycare is just a lot more fun because you work with like younger kids and you kind of do things on your own terms. There are some downsides to daycare if you wanted me to go over that, but overall I like love doing daycare and like being like my own boss, and I just like love being a daycare provider in general. So if you wanted like more specifics about that, I'm happy to go over that. Just let me know.
Hey you guys, I made about 6 figures in my in-home daycare last year for 2024. If you're new here, my name is Ashley. I always do fun income transparency videos for owning an in-home daycare in Salt Lake City, Utah. Now that TikTok is back, I thought I'd start back with a bang. I was kind of nervous to do this video, to be honest. This is the most money I've ever made, like ever in my life. This is also money that, this is just revenue. So this does not include taking money away for taxes, paying my employees, kind of just everything you need, rent, utilities, supplies, food, furniture. So this is just what I made in revenue. This is not what I put like in my pocket. This is not what I put in my pocket. But I'm just really proud of myself that this is how I did. I did not expect to make this much. My cute husband is my hype man, and he has always said that like you're doing so well. I'm officially the breadwinner right now, which is great. From 3-4 years ago, being a stay-at-home mom and not making any money whatsoever, and now being the breadwinner is kind of crazy. I would have never thought that like 2-3 years ago that would be kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so like I said, this did not go all into my pocket. I have to pay employees, I have to pay bills, I have to pay rent, I have to pay a bunch of other things, but altogether this is what I got revenue-wise. So $111,000, $874.70. Did I say that right? I think so. I'll put the numbers somewhere on here. So just last year, 2024, I made a little over 6 figures, and that literally like blows my mind. I can't quite comprehend that, and like from where we were at 4 years ago to now, literally it's crazy. I don't want to get emotional, but I never ever thought that me just being a stay-at-home mom and feeling lost and not knowing my hobbies. And when people would say like, what do you like to do for fun? What do you do for fun? And I didn't have an answer because being a mom was literally just taking over my life and I was barely surviving. And now owning my own business and being able to take care of my kids and not have to worry as much, it's quite crazy to me. So I just want to say I've had lots of DMs and comments about how I've been inspiring other people to start daycare or starting a business or just to start posting on TikTok in general. Just do it, just go for it. And sometimes there will be bumps along the way. Honestly, I'm like still learning to this day. Sometimes I just feel like I'm winging it, honestly. And when my husband's like, you are a full-on businesswoman, I have imposter syndrome because that's not what it feels like at all. But just go for it. You can do it. I know you can. I'm thinking about maybe doing some type of course or templates that I can share with you guys to maybe just to help people kind of get going and like a check-off list to start your daycare, in-home daycare. And I'm just like in awe. This is where my life is at right now, and now this is my next dream, and hopefully being able to open up a daycare outside of my home and like an actual center would be absolutely amazing. So just go for it. Time goes by way too fast. Don't take it for granted. Just go for it. That can be your goal. Just post that first video. Look up those certifications that you need. Take a CPR class. You can do it. Advertise. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Thank you guys for the support. I'll see you guys in the next one. 5 rules I have parents follow in my daycare just to run things more smoothly. Some might be a little controversial, but this is what works for me in my daycare. After working for a year and being a pretty laid back and chill person, I have put these rules into place, and daycare has run much smoother, and parents have been much more considerate about my business and my employees and other people's time as well. So this is just what works for me in my daycare. Number 1 is if your child is more than 15 minutes late for drop-off or pickup, there's a $15 late fee. I rarely ever have to do this. I just had a previous family that was definitely taking advantage of me being very kind and letting them just kind of come in whenever they wanted. Yes, we can still go on with the daycare day with or without them, but when I have employees here and I have them scheduled for a certain time and that child is not here, and if I send them home for the day and then all of a sudden that child pops up, then it just messes up the whole schedule. So I rarely have to do this. Usually my parents always communicate with me if they are going to be late. As long as you communicate, that's fine with me. But I did have a couple families in the past that were definitely taking advantage of just dropping kids off super late, and if we had a snack already laid out for them and ready to go and then they were super late and then we just had to throw that snack away, that was just a waste of food, and we were expecting them at that time. So that is why I do that. Rarely have to ever do that, but every now and then I do if they're super late. 2 is your child will be marked absent after 30 minutes with no communication. So as long as you communicate with me or one of my employees that you are going to be late or you are arriving at a certain time, that is fine. But if I hear nothing at all for 30 minutes and we were expecting your child at a certain time and they are not here, they are usually marked as absent. 3 would be I do not take kids later than 10 o'clock if they are here for nap time. So we do nap between 1 and 3. If your child comes usually after 10, that means they probably slept in for the day or they took a nap in the morning, which means by the time we have nap time at 1, they are not ready to nap. So if your child is on the schedule to nap, I will not take them past 10 o'clock. They need to be here before 10 o'clock or by 10 o'clock so that they have enough time to get their energy out and play so that they are ready and tired by nap time to either do quiet time or sleep. 4 is no picking up during nap or nap time at all. So nap time for us is usually between 1 and 1:15 till 3, and no parents are allowed to drop off or pick up during those hours or times. Just for example, if kids are napping down here and I only have one room down here, I don't have another extra playroom, and someone drops off their child at 2 and they're loud upstairs, and that could risk waking up everyone else down here. Or if a parent is coming to pick up in the middle of nap time and we have to come down and wake them up, that could also disturb other kids' naps and wake up the rest of the nappers as well. So I do not allow parents to come and pick up their kids during nap time at all. They have to wait. They have to either come pick them up before nap time or they have to come pick them up after nap time. 5 is a sick fee. Some people had questions about this. So this I only apply, it's a $15 sick fee. If I know that your child has been, let's say they called out the day before and they said, hey, so-and-so is not coming, they have been sick, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, awesome. But they still bring their child the next day knowing that they are still sick and they have visible symptoms of bright green boogers, fighting off a virus, a cough, a fever, or just anything at all that would risk getting my staff sick or any other daycare kid sick, I will call that parent to come pick up their child, and I will send them, and I will put on their account a $15 sick fee just for like an inconvenience fee. Luckily, I have not had to do this yet. I think parents have really figured out that like I'm serious. Like I said, I am a pretty laid back person, and I used to just kind of be like, are they sick? Are they okay? And I had parents sneaking in their kids, knowing that they're sick, knowing that they had symptoms, and then me being like, hey, your child is sick, da-da-da-da, and then they can't come and get them. So I have just started the sick fee, and that has helped actually tremendously. I feel like we have not had as many call outs and myself getting sick as well. So those are the 5 main possibly controversial rules or guidelines I have parents follow just in my daycare, just to run things more smoothly. I have noticed in this business, a lot of people are not very considerate of other people's time and health and just common sense things that you would think people would like think about. So just applying these little tiny rules has helped tremendously.